I am Dr. Kay Fontana, life force coach and grief recovery specialist, and I am deeply familiar with the pain of loss, having experienced many throughout my life. At just 9 years old, I lost my brother to cancer and witnessed my parents' immense grief, which was unbearable. Years later, my mother lost her battle with Alzheimer's, and then my father was diagnosed with cancer and passed away a week after his diagnosis. Most recently, in January 2023, I experienced the devastating loss of my husband and soulmate of 40 years due to multiple health issues. In between were countless other losses, including family members, friends, co-workers, beloved pets, and even finances. However, I turned my pain into my purpose and passion to share strategies to help you get through your darkest days and navigate the complexities of grief. This is the Healing Our Grieving Hearts podcast. Welcome to today's episode, where I'm going to talk about when grief is collective. Collective grief refers to the shared experience of mourning among a group of people, often resulting from a significant loss affecting a community, such as the death of a public figure, a natural disaster, or a widespread tragedy such as 9/11. The upcoming anniversary of 9/11 can elicit a range of symptoms and emotions related to collective grief, both on an individual level and within a community. Grief surrounding the events of 9/11 differs from other mass casualty incidents in several significant ways due to the nature of the tragedy, the circumstances surrounding it, and its deep cultural, social, and political implications. The events of September 11, 2001, and the aftermath were not simply tragic for those directly affected. They were deeply felt across the entire nation and the world. The immense scale of the tragedy occurring on U.S. soil marked it as a pivotal moment in history. While many experienced personal losses, even those who were geographically distant felt the emotional weight of the attacks. Many people can vividly recall where they were and what they were doing when they first heard the news. It became a shared national experience, connecting people across various backgrounds and communities, creating a collective grief rooted in national identity. The attacks on the World Trade Center and the Pentagon were seen as a direct assault on the core values of freedom and security that many Americans hold dear. This added significant layers to the nation's grief, expanding the loss beyond lives taken to encompass a fundamental shift in how people perceived safety and vulnerability. The sense of freedom that had existed prior to that day was shattered, replaced with a lingering anxiety that changed daily life. In the aftermath, the U.S. experienced profound changes in policies that affected every citizen, from the war on terror and alterations in immigration laws to increased surveillance and security measures. These political ramifications complicated collective grief as individuals began to struggle with the broader implications of the tragedy. The sadness felt by many was intertwined with concerns about civil liberties and the direction of the country, leading to feelings of confusion and helplessness. Compounding this was the unprecedented media coverage that captured the events of 9/11 in real time, influencing public perception and deepening collective grieving. The relentless flood of images and narratives heightened emotions and made it difficult for many to process their grief. While memorial services and moments of silence became normalized routines in the years that followed, the ritualistic nature of remembering helped create a shared space for grieving, unique compared to how other mass casualty incidences are observed. Many individuals affected by 9/11 did not only endure an immediate loss, they faced ongoing grief rooted in socioeconomic challenges, including job losses, displacement, and psychological trauma. Such complications often require specialized forms of support as they navigate the complex layers of grief combined with everyday struggles. Globally, the implications of 9/11 extended far beyond the United States, affecting international relations and sparking conflicts that continue to this day. Various countries experienced their own losses in the wake of the attacks, creating diverse grief experienced across cultures. Adding another dimension to this collective grief was the significant number of first responders and volunteers who participated in rescue and recovery efforts. Many of these brave individuals have since faced serious health issues or have tragically lost their lives. Their sacrifices have intensified discussions on the duty and community, highlighting the enduring legacy of heroism and the price paid for safety. This ongoing narrative of sacrifice continues to echo through the collective memory of 9/11, reminding society of the profound and lasting impacts of the events of that day. The stories of the people who lost their lives and the ones who survived have been shared a lot over the last 23 years, making a collection of experiences that everyone can connect with. This helps create both a shared sadness and personal connection to the losses. These factors make the grief tied to 9/11 unique and complicated. It's not just about the individual losses, it impacts society as a whole and carries deeper cultural meanings. As the anniversary of 9/11 approaches, many people find that intense feelings of sadness, anger, or anxiety come rushing back. This day often acts as a trigger, bringing forth memories of that tragic day and its profound impact on lives across the nation and beyond. For some, these emotions may manifest as increased crying or emotional outbursts, serving as an outlet for the pent up feelings that arise during a time of collective remembrances. People often find themselves processing their emotions more deeply with tears that are tied not only to personal loss but also a broader tragedy. In the midst of these intense emotions, some may choose to isolate themselves from friends and family, feeling an urge to be alone with their thoughts. This solitude can offer a moment to reflect on the past and the lasting changes that have taken place since that day. However, this isolation can also lead to feelings of loneliness, exacerbating the emotional toll of the anniversary. Sleep disturbances such as insomnia or nightmares are not uncommon as distressing memories resurface. As people navigate their feelings on the anniversary, they may find themselves experiencing a heightened emotional response to media coverage or conversations about 9/11. News stories or discussions can reignite old wounds and lead to a cycle of grief that feels overwhelming. Many individuals feel a strong pull to reminisce about their personal experiences related to that day, reflecting on how it shaped their lives and identities. This reflection often intertwines with an increased level of stress, physically manifesting as headaches, fatigue, muscle tension, or even digestive issues. Additionally, there's a sense of powerlessness that can accompany this grief as individuals confront the ongoing impact of the tragedy, whether it's related to changes in security policies, community dynamics, or personal losses. They may feel unequipped to deal with these complex feelings. Despite this, there is often a strong desire to connect with others who share similar experiences or feelings related to the event. Finding commonality and shared pain can offer comfort, reminding us that while we may grieve individually, there is also a collective compassion in our experiences. In many cases, the anniversary brings a reappearance of unresolved grief, leading to a mix of sadness and anger over both personal and communal losses. This feeling can be intense, prompting individuals to confront emotions that have lingered since that day. Ultimately, the complex emotions tied to the anniversary of 9/11 reflect a deep link between personal loss and a broader societal trauma, allowing those affected to honor their memories while navigating collective grief. As the anniversary of 9/11 approaches, many people seek ways to honor those impacted by the tragedy and to connect with their own grief. One meaningful way to do this is by attending local memorial services or community gatherings. These events create an opportunity for individuals to gather together, share their memories, and find comfort in the collective experience of grief. Being surrounded by others who understand the depth of loss can be incredibly comforting, reinforcing the idea that no one is alone in their grief. In addition to communal gatherings, developing personal rituals can be a powerful way to process emotions and honor those lost. Simple acts of lighting a candle, writing a heartfelt letter to a loved one, or observing a moment of silence can provide a space for reflection and remembrance. These rituals serve not only as a tribute, but also to create a deeper personal connection with the memories associated with 9/11. Connecting with family and friends during this time can also be beneficial. Sharing stories, reminiscing about experiences, and offering support to each other can help lighten the emotional load. Sometimes just having someone who listens can make a significant difference. This social interaction helps create a sense of togetherness that is vital when coping with grief. Additionally, using creative outlets like art, music, or writing can allow individuals to express their feelings in unique ways. These mediums can be therapeutic, providing a space to explore complex emotions and to manifest grief in a form that feels genuine. Engaging in acts of service or kindness is another meaningful way to honor the memory of those lost. Whether volunteering for a local charity or simply helping a neighbor, these acts of compassion can strengthen community bonds while paying tribute to victims. Additionally, taking time for mindfulness exercises or meditation can help ground individuals amid heightened emotions. This inner work helps create a sense of peace and can aid in navigating the emotions that often arise during anniversaries of loss. Journaling, too, offers a way to process thoughts and feelings related to the events of 9/11. Writing helps clarify emotions and can act as a safe space to express sadness, frustration, or even anger. For those feeling overwhelmed by media coverage, taking breaks from the news and focusing on personal reflection or discussions with supportive individuals can be crucial for emotional well-being. Professional support is also a viable option for those struggling to cope. Reaching out to a therapist or grief counselor can provide guidance and tools to navigate this difficult time. Lastly, consider starting a project or initiative that honors the memory of those lost, such as a community garden. This not only serves as a lasting tribute, but also offers a way to channel grief into something positive. Ultimately, each person grieves differently, so finding the coping method that resonates personally is essential. Whether through communal activities, personal rituals, or creative expression, there are many ways to navigate the complex emotions tied to the anniversary of 9/11 while honoring the memories of those we lost. The mission of Healing Our Grieving Hearts is to help individuals navigate through loss and find purpose through grief recovery, energy healing, and spiritual support. For more information on how to benefit from grief healing modalities that I offer, go to my website at www.healingourgrievinghearts.com, where you can schedule a complimentary grief breakthrough session. You will also find 2 guided meditations on the media page. To follow me on Facebook, go to facebook.com/k.fontana. Thank you for listening to this episode of Healing Our Grieving Hearts podcast. Remember, you are not alone in your grief, and your experiences and emotions are valid. Join me next Saturday at 10 a.m. Arizona time as we continue to explore the human experience and when grief is absent. Until then, be kind to yourself.